Bernadette, I'm here for your pick a card tarot reading for Thursday, March 4th, 2021. Is all I can say. I just wonder ever if like the animal spirit guides ever get tired of being right. That's all I wonder. So here's the card for today. Staying on the theme of everything, all the connecting the dots this week so far have been leading up to you doing the business you want to do, but in particular the metaphysical business. And so here, okay. The Macaw as the world card, the world tarot card, here it is. But if you remember what I say when you're going to go work with the arc is if you want to pay attention to the tarot card meanings, awesome, right? There's a full deck for you to use. It's awesome. It's wow, it's just so powerful. I get so many reports of people that use this deck, and they love those decks. I'm like, yeah, I love that deck. I use it too. And they're like, but I've never gotten more accurate readings than when I use the arc. And here's the secret to that. I'm just going to let the secret out of the bag. Because you're connecting to your most natural instincts. It's a deck of animals. You're an animal. And they give you permission or light the way or make you more comfortable and safe, feel safe, all those things, to really trust in your own animal instincts, your own psychicness, your own empathness, your own, all those words mean the same thing, just so you know. People will tell you they don't, but really at the end of the day, they do. So today we're going to pay attention to the world in this. So in the world card, it's the completion of the major arcana. Poof, you get what you want. Everybody claps, everybody, the end. Now, I'm not trivializing that, right? I am not trivializing you getting what you want at all. I truly am not. But we could celebrate that it's coming and be indefinite about when it's coming, or we can pay attention to what this macaw has told me today, this very macaw has told me today, and that is, it's all about me, baby, meaning it's all about the macaw. Now, first thing I want to note is this card came flipping out this morning. I mean, flipping out. Mostly you might see me rub my head because it flipped right out of the deck onto the floor. And when I went down to get it, I whacked myself. I whacked my head on my desk because I'm smart that way. So if you take a look, what we've got is 1, 2. So, okay, tail, head, outspread feathers. That's the number 4. What's the date today? 4. So the message that you're getting today does have to do with numerology. And 4 in numerology is the most stable of all numbers. Each side is equal, and it makes it very, very difficult to break. So you're going to want to go through today really paying attention to the number 4. You probably want to look it up. If it's your life path number, woot, woot. Oh my goodness, there's like a triple sign. And yeah, it's all about showing your colors, and it's this and it's that, but it's so much more. So today, the ruling planet is Jupiter, and that's like go, 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 go. Okay. And the ruling chakra is the heart chakra. Okay. Wonderful. But I don't know I just don't know any other way to put this other than Macaw had me go digging for facts, because what it said was not just staying in the theme of, hey, together, me and the animal allies and you wild ones, we're going to download messages that are more current, different, more expanded from the animal kingdom in ways that have never been told before, ways that have never been shown before. And Macaw is like, in for a penny, in for a pound. And that's my belief, right? So I went digging for facts. And when the fact that is important for today hit me, I was like, what does that have to do with the heart chakra? And then I had a whole bunch of macaws look at me like that. And I was like, oh, I totally get it. Okay. So we've talked about a number of different reasons why you may not, or why you think you're not moving toward what you want. And that's not just in metaphysics, y'all. I think this week has been very focused on metaphysical businesses, spiritually related businesses, healing businesses. But I want to be really clear about that. That can mean anything. I can't tell you how many people I've read for, and I'm like, oh, you're in the medical business now. Yeah, you are. No, I'm not. Okay, let me try it this way. Do you work for or around or with a healing facility? No, I'm not a Reiki practitioner. I didn't say anything about Reiki. I just said healing, Eastern, Western, whatever. Well, I mean, I'm an auditor in such and such hospital. Really? Okay, you're in the healing profession, because without the numbers people, there's not enough money, and everything collapses, and we don't get healed, right? Okay, so the first thing that's being called for in your heart chakra today is to be very clear about what your mission is and what your sacred contract is, what your calling is, because in the immortal words of Inigo Montoya, I do not think this word means what you think it means, and so that's the first thing. The second thing is, okay, so again, I'm plugging my Kickstarter, and I'm plugging my Kickstarter because I am pledging $5,000 to prevent animal cruelty to different charities that I work with by the end of 2021. The Kickstarter is going to start on April 1st. April 1st is the beginning of prevention of animal cruelty month. And you guys know I don't talk about that, right? Like I don't bring attention to it. I want this channel to always be, just uplifting and inspirational and motivational and healing. And that's a little hurtful in my estimation, so I don't do it. Having said that, I know all of us are acutely aware of lots of different animals' plights. And so when the Animals Allies were like, okay, listen, if you're going to make the complete guide to spirit, totem, and power animals, a 700-page book with 300 animals, each animal has 2 whole pages worth of its meaning and its symbolism and, all this, and then it's got all this stuff about how to work with them, then you, listen, in fairness, you're going to need to take a look at, how you can help us. And doing that is not completely ignoring our plight. And I was like, okay, I get that. So I'm treading very carefully in it. But where I'm going with this is, and I'll get to this, probably over the weekend or maybe tomorrow. I'm going to beg you. I am. I'm like, if I need to take a video of me on bended knee, I will beg you to help me spread the word about this Kickstarter because of what it will do for animals, right? And so I also am going to make video or do Skype meetings with the people that get the checks, with the charities that get the checks. Number one, so that you can see it's not a lot of horse apples, like a lot of people say, and then they never follow through. But how would you ever know? Nobody ever does that. Well, some people do that. But I want that to be a thing, and I want you all to also notice and take note of these particular charities. So all that being said, when I was going through the facts, it started to be a whole thing about how many types of macaws have gone extinct. And I was like, I don't want to read that. And I literally pressed harder on my mouse and clicked right into that part. Okay. And there it was. And there it was. So the blue macaw is extinct along with other macaws. But of course, I mean, you see, I got my blue on today. Okay. So it's about the heart chakra. And the heart chakra area is green. Why am I all dressed in blue? And why is it important about the blue macaw going extinct? Because the blue macaw, anything blue is about your throat chakra. And anything bird is about getting a wind beneath your wings and being uplifted and flying to places you want to fly and so on and so forth. And then I heard from blue macaw, well, listen, do they want to use their throat chakra to tell the truth, or do they not? And I was like, oh, that's kind of emotionally charged. I'm going to be telling however many people watch this video, you may not be using your voice for good. And what I mean by that is this is what was told to me. Crazy. Telling the truth means being authentic, and the most authentic. And if you are voicing, even just to yourself, all of these reasons why you can't, you won't, you don't, you wouldn't, you never, you couldn't, all of the negativity about why you're not moving forward with your calling, you're telling yourself a big fat lie. And let's say that you are in a relationship or this or that, because I get this all the time. Holy guacamole, I get this all the time. Well, I secretly want to be a healer or a reader, but my husband or my wife or my family or my this or my that, and they're whispering to me in my office or on Skype like anybody's going to hear us. Okay, I recognize that I have been given a great gift. My family. I was so kooky from the beginning. If I said, because I did one time when I was in college, I was like, listen, This baseball player on this team, we're good friends. He tells me there are no good pizza parlors in South Africa. We're going to move to his hometown and we're going to open up a pizza parlor. I think I mentioned that to you guys once upon a time. We didn't. That's not the point. I felt free to dream, and I felt free to dream out loud, and I felt free to whatever. Now, my mom giggled at me because she's like, "You don't cook," and I'm like, "That's what a paycheck is for, right? You hire somebody to do that." No, I'm not cooking. So, and I'm not standing around flipping pizzas all day long for dang sure. But what's happening is you don't realize it. You won't see it this way because no one wants to see it this way. Let's say that you just are going along in agreement with the people, the naysayers. That's telling them a lie. You're lying to them. And you're not lying to yourself. So really, you're the only one you're hurting. Having said that, let me just say this. You're really not the only one that you're hurting. You know that you're being called. And if you're being called, that must mean that Spirit has faith in you. And so for you not to have faith in yourself means you don't have faith in Spirit, because you are Spirit and Spirit is you. A little existential for this early on a Thursday, but true nonetheless. Now, here is a very interesting thing about blue macaws. There actually is a macaw that is not extinct. And that is, so the Spix macaw, S-P-I-X, that is the one that's extinct. And it's a kind of a pale blue color, right? But there is a macaw that is the hyacinth macaw that is cobalt blue. I mean, this blue just glows. It's delicious. It's sapphire-y. It almost borders on purple. And that is the really interesting thing because, of course, being named a hyacinth macaw, I'm like, oh, what's the spiritual meaning of hyacinth? And according to, a couple of different places on the internet, the blue hyacinth, oh, holy cow, I want to get the wording straight because I was told, hold on, you guys, 1 second. Hyacinth meaning. Okay, I want to be sure I totally get this right. So if it's a blue hyacinth, not a purple hyacinth, I don't know why I didn't remember this because I was blown away. It represents sincerity. And we're sitting here talking about the truth from your throat chakra. Hello? Okay, I'm not saying hello to y'all like in a sarcastic way, but I'm like to myself, I'm like, no wonder I was going diving for all this stuff this morning. So there are two kinds of hyacinth. There's one that are purple and then there are ones that are blue. But what's interesting is I saw it noted in a couple of different articles about the meaning of hyacinth, that hyacinth is the only flower that doesn't have glimmers of purple or lilac or lavender when it's in the sun. That almost all blue, in these articles, it was hyacinth is the only one that stays blue no matter what. You don't get those hues of purple and this and that. And that, of course, when I was led to the meaning and symbolism of hyacinth, I'm like, oh, sincerity, that's about truth, that's about purity, and that's what's being called for in your heart chakra. So liar, that's not a great word, but it's the word of the day because we don't see it as that. We don't see it as a lie. We see it as we're going along to get along. We're trying not to rock the boat. We're this, we're that, we're this, we're that. When in essence, what you're saying is, you could be saying a number of things. I don't feel free to be the whole of me in my family or in my partnership. I don't think I could ever achieve this, so I'm just gonna, move on about my merry business. It could be so many things, but what you're telling yourself is a big fat lie. So stop doing it. Now, again, I'm not being flip. I understand. Again, I was fortunate. My family, they're like, what's Bernadette up to now? And it makes great table talk for the holidays. So, but my sister's my partner in crime. My sister's my partner in crime. She gets into all this stuff with me too. So it's just so important. And it doesn't even have to be about business, but it's got to be about something that brings you abundance. And that can mean financial abundance, material abundance. It can mean spiritual abundance. It can mean relationship abundance. It can mean self-actualization. That's it. Self-actual. I don't know why y'all had to take me around the block to get to this. Okay. Self-actualization. That's what we're talking about today, 15 minutes into this reading. You're not self-actualizing. And if you believe in sacred contracts, you were you came here to self-actualize in whatever way you want to self-actualize. Dirt hits you like a thunk on the head, doesn't it? It certainly makes me stop and think. These readings are about y'all, but they're about me too. They're about everybody that's involved in this reading in some way. They're about calling in the hyacinth. They're about calling in the blue macaws. They're about, taking a look at the Spix macaw versus the hyacinth macaw. You guys can read the differences in them in other ways, but when you take a look at the colors, you've got a kind of a pale pastel-y Spix macaw, but then the hyacinth macaw is just whoa! And that's what you're being asked to be in your own way. Now, not everybody's as kooky as I am or kooky as my friends, and not at all just out there with it like we are. But you can be your own version of that and be so deeply happy and satisfied and fulfilled and living on purpose. Because if you're not living on purpose, goodness knows what fibs you're telling or lies you're telling, not because you're divisive, not because you're not credible, not because you're not honest and trustworthy or sincere. We don't think of it like that. We've got a million reasons we can come up with why X, Y, and Z isn't, shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't. Stop. Today, you're going to call on the energy of Macaw. You're going to know that the number 4 is supporting you to make it a strong foundation, an almost unbreakable foundation. You're going to call on the blue macaw, the Spix macaw, so that you don't go extinct. Your hopes and your, that's it too. Oh my God. Y'all should see. No, you can't. I don't know why I did that. I know you can't, but I got tingles going up and down my body because you don't understand what you're doing. You're making yourself extinct and obsolete. Yourself, not your physical, but yourself. And you got to come from that heart chakra place, y'all. You've got to come from there. And it may not happen overnight. Okay, but it's got to happen. You've got to self-actualize. You're being called. And get, Hyacinth Macaw to lend you some of that brilliant, deep, gorgeous, rich, royal blue. It's just delicious. And, maybe the message today is that blue, the Spix blue macaw is your spirit animal, but hyacinth macaw is who you're going to call on as your power animal. And that's going to give you the world. It's going to bring you closure. It's going to bring you full circle. It's just going to be beautiful. So I hope that's helpful. Please remember my Kickstarter starts April 1st. It's all about the book, what it can do for you. It's all about what the Kickstarter can do. The proceeds from the book can do for animals. And the forums, they should be open later today. I'll put the link in there, gatheringofmystics.com, and that's where Bernadette is going to be hanging out from now on. I'll still answer some questions here on YouTube, but I want to get everybody over to the forum so that we feel safer. We have an environment where we can share photos and we can share this and share that and do that in a place that's maybe not nearly as public. And that way we can go deeper into these things. And it's also, I'll be multi-streaming and I'll be streaming live, yes, here, but on the forum, so on and so forth. So I know that's a lot. At the end of the day, what is your job? To do good for animals, do great things for animals, great things for yourself, and stay wild.